Welcome to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. If you have any questions, just give us a call at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Hey, everybody, this is Attilio, and this is the art part of the show. ART, what does that stand for, Adrienne?
That's Attilio's Random Thoughts.
All right, so what I want to talk to you about is another concept. What I want to talk to you about is a concept from the book called The One Thing by Jay Papasan, and it's called the 80-20 rule, the 80-20 idea, the 80-20 concept. So the question is, what's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary? Read that question for me again, Adrienne.
What's the one thing I can do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary?
So that's the theme of this book. I highly recommend it. By the way, how do we use this book called The One Thing in our hiring process?
Well, as part of the process, you will read this book and give us your takeaways, your summary. How does it apply to you personally?
Why are we having people read a book as part of our hiring process? That sounds kind of old school.
Well, I think we talked about this in our last show about mindset. So you've got to have a growth mindset, and if you're not working on yourself and growing and learning, then we're probably not a good fit.
Yeah,
because our team is about growing and learning together, and we read books together, we learn, and
if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yep. So having this one thing book, it's a good way to lay the foundation.
Yeah, we're testing.
Yes.
Testing them to see if they're book readers. Because our good friend Sophia runs a massive business in California. She's talking with her coach, Seth Campbell, and he said, Sophia's like, none of my people want to read books. And you know what he said? Hire people who want to read books. Boom. End of conversation.
Done.
So that's what we do. And here's the deal. If you're like, I know you're drunk monkey right now, I don't read books. That's okay. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. There's other ways that you can do audiobooks, podcasts, and all of that. But get into a habit of growth. Why most people struggle. So maybe back it up a bit. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less. And I can't read it if it's not there. It's not about doing more. It's about doing less. Most people confuse busy with productive. They start the day reading emails or reacting to emails, text messages, meetings, rather than attacking the small number of actions that actually create results. And this is the difference between the 80% of the things that we do all day long and the 20% that actually move the needle. In our real estate business, we call the 20% DPA. What does that acronym stand for?
Dollar productive activity. So I think you have to first start with identifying what is dollar productive activity versus what's just like the busy work.
Yeah.
Right. So people get confused by that. Sometimes.
I'll give you a business real estate example. 20% of your clients create 80% of your income. 20% of your listings create 80% of your stress or success. Read that last one.
20% of your lead sources create 80% of your closings.
And here's a life example. 20% of your habits create 80% of your health. What would be a DPA activity for health?
That would be like working out,
exercising. I would say number one would be exercise that you got to do it on a daily basis. And people say, oh, take a rest day. You know, here's what your rest day would look like. Go on a hike, go walk around, go do 5,000 steps for your rest day, but move your body every day. That's going to be the 20% that helps facilitate and support 80% of your health in relationship. Go read that one.
20% of relationships create 80% of your happiness.
All right. So how to apply this today? Identify your 25%. Your 20%, ask what activities actually produce results.
So take the inventory, right?
Yeah. And then when you have the activities that you need, what do you got to do next?
You got to protect your time. Protect that one thing. You got to time block before the email, before a meeting, before social media. Time block for that one thing.
You know, people will look at us, oh, you guys are in great shape. What is the key? And I said, it's very simple. And I'm going to tell you this, people go back and forth. I work out in the morning. I work out in the middle of the day. I work out in the evenings. I work out on the weekends. I will tell you right now, I'm just going to throw all of that garbage out. There's only one time if you're serious about your health, if you're serious about your health, you're going to do it. Like if you're a shift worker, whatever that shift is, I'm not saying just in the morning, but
The first thing in the
before
day.
you start your day at work, whatever you work, you have to get up early or start early if you work later in the day. And you got to go to the workout and you got to do it, because when you try and do it in the middle of the day or after work, life happens.
Things get in the way.
Things get in the way. But if it's just, you want a time block for exercise, but you want a time block in a time block that just makes sense, and there's going to be less things coming up to overrun it. And so I would say 80% of multimillionaires work out in the morning. All right. So say no more often. Say no more often. What does that mean, Adrienne?
So every yes to the wrong thing is a no to your one thing.
Stop saying yes to the snooze button. Stop saying yes to the snooze button. Put the dang alarm clock or your phone all halfway across the room, so you got to get up out of your bed. Another technique is, you know what? If you work out in shorts and a tank top, go to bed in shorts and a tank top. Put your socks and your shoes right at the edge of your bed. I know it's Hawaii. We don't wear shoes in the house. Whatever. Put your socks right there. And then if you like, just have it ready to go. You got to set yourself up. So read our power quote.
Success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right.
Now, if you're about doing everything right, you are a perfectionist, and that's a problem.
Yep.
So success is about doing the right thing, not about doing everything right. Like, oh, I don't have the right shoes, I don't have the this, I don't know. You
just getting ready to get ready.
I've done times when I just put my hat on and just go straight to the gym. I don't know. I had slippers, whatever. We lucky in Hawaii, they don't require closed-toed shoes. If you feel overwhelmed, the answer isn't working harder, it's working more intentional. Find your one thing and let the 80-20 rule work in your favor, and use time blocking. There you go. That is what does it Oprah say? That is a tweetable moment. We're also probably going to cut this little part out and put it on all our social media. All right. So let's see here. We'll go back over here. What else, Adrienne?
Well, it looks like speaking of time blocking and 80-20 rule, we do have somebody that specializes in this
helping you.
Yeah, this kind of help. That would be Renee Ube of Your VA Match. She's going to come on and share with us about time blocking and just using the leverage appropriately.
Yes.
Welcome, Renee. Welcome to the first show of the year. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hi, Adrienne. Happy New Year. Hi, Adrienne. Hi, Attilio. And thank you for inviting me for the tip of the week from Your VA Match. What I want to share with all the business owners listening today is, especially for those who are hiring talents, if you're hiring based on skill set alone, you're playing a short game. And it's costing you more than you think. And here's the truth. And it's something that our team has proven time and time again after years of hiring. Skills can be taught. Mindset must already be present. And we've seen incredibly skilled hires fail, not because they couldn't do the job, but because they didn't take ownership. They didn't think ahead, and they need constant direction. And on the flip side, we've seen less experienced hires outperform fast because they were coachable, proactive, and aligned with how the business actually runs. So when you're hiring, stop only asking this question: can they do the task or can they do the job? Instead, start asking, do they solve problems or do they just report them? Do they wait or do they take initiative? And do they fit the pace, the standards, and the culture of how you operate? What's important is personality fit and mindset. They're hard factors when you're hiring talents because they are performance multipliers. So if you're a business owner that, who wants to win, hire for potential, coachability, and alignment, then train the skills. And that's how your VA Match does it. We don't just select talent just to fill a role. We select talents just, to help business owners move their business forward.
Yeah, I think that's important because what you
visit
said.
Us. Visit Your VA Match.
Hit some bullet points that Renee just said. Number one, the mindset already is there. We've learned from our PSI, Personal Success Institute training, and psychologists and research that probably by about age 19 or 20, your base personality, your who you are, your programming is already pretty set. So that comes from mom, dad, siblings who you've been hanging out with during those periods of time from 0 to 19 or 20. And so in the workplace, I think Renee hit it right on the spot. We can teach you the skill sets, but if you don't have the right mindset, the performance is not going to be there. Renee, talk more about what are the things that you're doing, because that's the role that you play in
finding those people that have the correct mindset.
What are some of the things that you do? Yeah, to make sure that they have the right mindset.
So with your VA match, we carefully vet virtual assistants, and they go through a very tedious hiring process because we want to make sure that they're a right fit. They have to go through several assessments, interviews to make sure that we're finding the right people for our partners. And those assessments and those interviews are focused on the mindset of the talent. And we find talents mostly based on the mindset, because again, we can just train them after, and we have very successful hires who never had any background in real estate, doesn't have any background in being a virtual assistant. And well, just to share, we have VAs from our own team who was a teacher, who was a nurse, and who was from an accounting company or bookkeeping company. But when they joined us, they have the right mindset. And now even Shane, our producer, she was a teacher, never had any experience with social media or marketing and all, but now she's thriving, and she now replaced our marketing manager because she learned a lot, and the mindset was there. She's hungry to get the job and to keep the job.
Adrienne, you're doing your was it Goldman Sachs?
Yes, Goldman Sachs, 10,000 small businesses.
10,000 small businesses. Yes. It's a high level training for business owners, and one of the things it's a deep dive on our businesses, and we own I don't know how many different businesses.
I think it's 9. We have 9 different businesses that we're involved with.
Yeah. And there's no way that we can do that without having leverage and support. And a virtual assistant, I think part of the business or the attraction of the business model, I will tell you right now, from a business owner, having worked with Renee for over 15 years, and we were working with VAs even prior to that. It was there was what was his name? Isaac from India. But there was no communication directly with them, or no Zoom or any of that stuff. It was just email. And now fast forward today, we're on the phone and all of that. But I would say that the key benefits for us as a business owner to validate this service that Renee is providing with yourvamatch.com is that it keeps the cost down, because we're for what you would pay for an assistant here with health insurance and a basic base pay and all the other things, you probably hire 2 or 3 virtual assistants, and then the turnover is going to be a lot lower, because I think in our direct experiences that we've had, Renee, I don't know, maybe the people working at the front desk, how many of these have we had over the years, Adrienne or Renee? I don't know, 10?
Front desk, probably at least 10 people.
10 people that have come and going.
Yes, but Renee's been with us.
Renee's been with us the whole time, and then we got some other VAs, 10 years, 8 years. So they stick around. They're loyal. They're appreciative, and but I like what you've said before. And I'm not going to state it. I'm just going to put it in the form of a question. Is hiring a VA going to solve a disorganized business person's life? Is just hiring a VA going to solve their problems? No. Yeah. No. What do they need to be committed to do to have that success with hiring a virtual assistant?
you have to pour into them, and you want them to be your second brain. And for that to happen, you're gonna have to teach them. You're gonna have to train them to think like you and operate like you. So, and it takes time. You're gonna. It's an investment, right? You're gonna have to take time, at least an hour a day or an hour a week, to tell them what success is like for you, and you're gonna have to make them a part of your business.
Yeah.
Make them a business partner, not just a follower. They when we find VAs for our partners, for business owners, we find we look for virtual assistants who can anticipate your needs, who takes ownership, and who will operate as a business owner,
And I
and
think
somebody
the
who
number one
cares.
thing there, or to put that into one bullet point, you're only going to get out of a VA what you're willing to put into them. A lot of times, with with us collaborating on this, is that we are saying, hey, not only are they the business owner interviewing the VA, we're interviewing the business owner to see
to
if
make
it's
sure they'll be a good.
That's why
be a good
it's
boss.
called your VA match, not your VA dump.
But I want to tie this into what we were talking about earlier. We were talking about the 80-20 principle.
Yes,
that's true.
And knowing that 20% of our activities will, produce 80% of those results. But you still have that other 80% of things and tasks and tedious things that need to be done. Well, Renee and her company here, Your VA Match, is the answer for those other 80% of things.
Called the non-DPA.
The non-dollar productive activities that they need to get done, but they're not necessarily a priority. They're not necessarily the things that are moving the needle, but they need to get done eventually.
And I think too, they're even, and Renee, this has been our experience with Renee being with us for so long. There's a lot of the 20% that we've taken off our plate and put onto Renee to handle just as competently as we would, which allows us to laterally grow and own more businesses.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you for that, Renee.
And that's because you put in the time to train me and make me understand.
It's easy to tell people what to do, but it takes time to explain how and why and all that other stuff, and they have to be willing to do that. So thanks so much, Renee.
Yes, thank you, and happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Renee.
Happy New Year.
Right,
thank
so
you.
Renee Ube with yourvamatch.com. You can go book a time with her and see what it's all about. See if you're a good fit and your business is a good fit for a virtual assistant to help you with that other 80% non-dollar productive activity. Yeah.
So if you need that solution, if anything, starting in the new year, what I found, like a good match for a VA would be like if you're a licensed professional and everything rotates around you doing what you're doing, for example, like an accountant or a therapist, or even if you're a mechanic.
What about like a personal trainer?
Personal trainer, somebody, if you don't have somebody booking the appointments, running your calendar, returning the calls, checking the emails, then you're doing that. And that's all administrative work. And so if you want to grow your business, you got to get as much of that administrative work off your plate as you move forward in time, or else your business is never going to grow. It's just, even if it does, you're going to burn out because you're trying to do it all, the work of like 3, 4, 5 people yourself. You got to do that in the beginning because you got no budget, but if it's not sustainable long-term, hire a VA. Your family will appreciate you better. You'll probably be a better version of you to your family if you went to yourvamatch.com. Again, that's yourvamatch.com. And you got we are a real estate show, so we have some stats.
Let's talk a little bit about the market. We have through the end of November. We'll be next week. We'll talk about through the end of December, but this is just through the end of November 2025. Yeah. So we've got, for single family, median sale price at 1.1. I feel like we've been there for a while. It's 1.1 for the median sale price for
241 home sales. Yep. And that's a 18.7% year-over-year increase. And what about condos?
Condos, that's a whole nother story. We're at 487,450. And there was 316 condo sales, which is down by 7.3.
Yeah,
year
just the
over
volume.
year.
I think people are
Yeah.
like, I'm putting my condos out there. It's just sitting, so I'm going to take it off the market comparatively to last year and give it a rest.
Well, I think too with some of these condos where the maintenance fees have increased, that that puts the downward pressure on the pricing.
And I
right?
always like to
So-
give a shout out to Trevor Ben, president of the
Mhm.
Honolulu Board of Realtors. Way to go, Trevor. Trevor, for stepping up for the role, because I know it pays a ton of money. No, it doesn't pay anything. I think it's your volunteer. But
Mhm.
November results reflect a market adjusting to shifts in buyer demand, pricing, and inventory, said Trevor Ben, president of the Honolulu Board of Realtors. Even with fewer new listings, buyers remain active across many neighborhoods and price points, keeping pending sales steady. Do you want to go into some real estate myths, or you got a?
We have a guest that's waiting in the waiting room.
Okay.
But we are going to take a break. I don't know if we want to talk about the career night before we go to break.
Okay.
But we do have a career night on January 12th from 6 until 7 here at our office in Kapolei.
We are in Kapolei behind the Costco, going into James Campbell. Take the first left. We're going to be down the road from the Kapolei Fire Station on your left, right behind in the same building as the Bike Factory. You can RSVP, go to hawaiicareernight.com. That's hawaiicareernight.com. And sign up there. Even if you don't sign up, come anyway. We're going to have space for you. Typically, the first of the year is pretty full. So if you show up late, you might be standing up, but we'll find a chair.
We got plenty of seats.
We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. What does it cost? What kind of money you can make? What kind of time you're looking at? And what are the different roles? And we've been
some
doing
recent success stories. We have some new agents that are going to be sharing what it looks like to be on a team, or what it looks like to be in real estate here in Hawaii.
But anyway, we've been doing career nights over 10 years, and you're going to see the results of that when you come out. All right. So, hey, we're about to take a break, but stay with us. When we come back, we'll be talking with Eric Huerta of HuertaGenics. Eric will break down who his methods are really built for, what truly separates his approach from typical nutrition coaching, and his take on conventional medicine. And we are the results of his coaching.
So stay with us.
Hey, you know someone that moved to the mainland but left the rental property behind? So Amber wanted to create a new investment opportunities on the mainland, but she had to sell her island rental first. So she reached out to our good friends Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Handling the business virtually with Amber, Adrienne and Attilio came prepared with multiple 5-star selling strategies, including adjusting Amber's selling price expectations, and the home sold in days. If you're in a market to sell your home and you want a team that will make you the most money with the least amount of drama, you can trust our good friends, Adrienne and Attilio of Team Lally. Give them a call today, 808-799-9596. That's 808-799-9596. They're trusted. You see these signs all over in my community. Visit teamlally.com today. That's teamlally.com today.
The only real estate team I trust right here in Honolulu is Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi of Team Lally Real Estate Group of Keller Williams, Honolulu. Now, thanks for joining me today. What's the number one reason homes don't sell on time?
Sean, sellers are in denial. They are stuck in the previous market and not pricing their homes properly.
How do you solve that problem?
We have a 12-step program. The first step is to have a smart pricing strategy. We follow the 10-10-0 rule. 10 showings, no offers, we have to adjust. 10 days on the market, no showings, another adjustment. For the other 11 steps, give us a call.
Great update. Thank you for keeping us informed. Put the most experience and the best marketing to work for you. Call Team Lally now at 799-9596 or online at teamlally.com. That's teamlally.com. And you can start packing.
In today's fast-changing real estate market, you need access to the right information to make smart choices. I invest in real estate all over the country, and I rely on smart agents who know their local market inside and out. In Honolulu, I work with Adrienne Lally and Attilio Leonardi. Adrienne, Attilio, and their team sell a home every 72 hours and have over 750 5-star reviews. Go to teamlally.com and find out in just seconds what your home is really worth.
Welcome back, and thanks for listening to the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold program, or we'll buy it. I'm Adrienne.
And I'm Attilio.
And if you have any questions, you can reach us at 799-9596 or check us out online at teamlally.com.
Well, hey, everybody. Our guest today grew up in Lakewood, California, and is originally from Costa Mesa. A graduate of Chapman University, he's deeply passionate about health and performance, spending his time studying hormones, coaching football, lifting weights, and raising his two boys to become a strong student athletes.
After losing 55 pounds during his sophomore year of high school, his personal transformation sparked a lifelong commitment to health and fitness. That journey ultimately led him to develop a results-driven system now known as HuertaGenics. Please welcome our guest, Eric Huerta.
Hey, Coach. Doing
Yes.
great.
Yes. Welcome back.
Welcome back. So we always, I was talking with you, Coach, and I was like, how can we give you shouts out on social media? Did I hear you correctly? Like, that's not your thing on the social, right?
Yeah, I don't do a whole bunch of social media. And, what's funny is like, it's just one me, right? And like, if I did that, I don't even know that I can handle it right now. But I use the social media probably more for my kids than anything else. And everything that I do is kind of referral. Just when I change somebody's lifestyle or their look, everybody's asking them, hey, what are you doing? How'd you get to do that? And then that's when they say my name, and next thing you know, I'm talking to them and their friends. And if it's an office, if it's a location where there's 5 or 6 other employees, and then they all kind of want to talk to me. So it's been really good that way in regards to a referral based program. And I always tell everybody, like, the best compliment I can ever receive from anybody is a referral.
Yeah.
And I know Attilio and I have sent you many of our friends and family. And don't worry, I'm on social media and I'm making recommendations and tagging you all over the place.
Yeah, and I think when we did that acro routine, how many views did you get on the Instagram?
Oh, probably like 4,000 or 5,000 views. And people ask, like, okay, what are you doing? Who's helping you? What's your regiment? And of course, we send them all to Coach Eric.
Coach Eric, because and so that you are on social media, it's just through all your clients, is how I look at it. And like you said, they're, I forgot where it's on, but we always, especially in the fitness world, or just I think in general too, no matter what you're doing, your body is your walking resume. I'll say that one more time. Your body is your walking resume. It's hard for me to see an expert up on stage and it's obvious from, not like a judgy standpoint, but it's just obvious from what I'm seeing there that there's one area of their life.
They're not balanced.
That is out of balance, and they are not taking care of themselves. So let's talk about give us like the basics of, like, people come to you. What do you see? And we'll go with the bell curve of the people, not the guy who wants
outliers.
Not the outliers, like the Olympic athlete or the bodybuilders, but the happy middle. See, the challenge with the happy middle is we got big middles. That's the happy middle. We got big middles. Talk about the average Joe and Mary. What are their goals when they come to you with? What are they trying to do?
Well, let's just say when somebody comes to me, I've gotten to the point in my career where I don't get the genetic freaks or genetically gifted people where you change your diet a little bit, help them out. They do some cardio and their body changes, right? I'm literally putting pieces of the puzzle together where I am getting type 2 diabetics, females that are in, postmenopause, menopausal, perimenopause. I'm getting females with PCOS, females with Hashimoto's, males and females with Hashimoto's, with both metabolic syndrome, you name it, and, underactive thyroids. So what I do is when they come to me, they explain to me everything that they've tried, everything they've done under the sun in regards, I've tried this diet, I've done this, I've gone to this conventional doctor. He said I'm perfectly fine, that I don't need anything, but I know that's something wrong. And when I look at everything, majority of my clients are between 35 and 70 right now. So I asked them, when's the last time you had some labs done? And sometimes we got to go more in depth and look at what's going on the inside in order for everything that they're about to do on the outside to actually take effect, right? Because I'm not that type of coach that says, hey, man, if you work out hard and you eat good, this is going to happen. Not necessarily, not as you get older. Hormonal imbalance is a huge thing right now, and it has a lot to do with the preservatives that we eat on a daily basis, and we've been eating since we were kids, right? And as we get older, that's just compounded more and more. And, all these preservatives that our body was never meant to filter out, they start to do the damage and things start to wear. Our bodies are not machines or organs, and things will start to fall apart. And some people have, a lesser, so to speak, effective organ than others, and then you damage it even more. And then there's all kinds of malfunctions. So I'm the one that looks at the labs, tells them, hey, you know what, if we don't fix this, this, and this is really not going to work. And I'm of no use to you, because before they came to me, they might've been eating really good. They might've been exercising, and absolutely nothing is happening. Right. But they think it's just really difficult for them because they might have gotten labs from a conventional doctor, and the conventional doctor said, hey, you know what, you're within range, you're fine. No, the physicians that I practice with are bounty physicians, hormone optimization physicians. And we know that where there's certain markers we want to look at and we need our client to be at so they can perform at their very best.
So Eric, so what you're saying is that like the doctors are not necessarily all up to speed with the kind of blood work and even how to interpret the blood work. And like tell us a little bit more about that, like the blood work, because
you said something that there's three things I heard you say, and I want you to expand on this third one. Number one, everybody tells you what to exercise and what to eat, but nobody does the internal journey, what's going on the inside with the blood. Talk about the level of, and this is from personal experience. Adrienne and I have never had any coaching where the coach told you to draw blood, unless we were working with Dracula. We're not working with Dracula. We're working with Coach Eric. So talk about the blood work. Why is that important?
It's extremely important. And I'll quote Dana White, if you know the guy from the USC. One of the main things he's always talked about, and it's true, what he said is, if you break your leg, you get in a car accident, go to the conventional doctor. He's going to take care of you. He's going to be the best at what you need to do for that repair. Do not talk to conventional doctors about hormones or talk to them about nutrition. It's just not their feature. It's not what they do. It's not what they're best at. And unfortunately, they're really busy. And because they're really busy, they're not going to take the time to set aside to do the research they need for that one patient. So they're, what they don't know of or not educated on, they're just going to say, hey, within your range, they're not going to look any further. But when there actually are things that are wrong and things that are imbalanced. So if you are someone who has all the will, all the heart, and you're at the gym and you see them all the time, and you're at the gym all the time, they're at the gym all the time, working out, doing cardio, and you see them there week by week, but nothing is absolutely changing on them. Maybe not losing any weight. It's not necessarily that they're eating bad. Maybe they have an underactive thyroid. Maybe they have low testosterone levels, right? Maybe their cortisol levels are too high. Maybe they're insulin resistant. But because they went to a conventional doctor and they're just not educated enough in regards to looking at the labs the way me and my physicians do, then they just can't possibly give you the recommendations that are needed so that you can get balanced out. And then everything you're doing in the gym, everything you're doing in regards to how you're eating starts to get traction, right? And at that point, you're just spinning your wheels, and we're only human. So if you're gung-ho, and you see this all the time, you see people yo-yo all the time. They're really gung-ho, and I'm going to get going. Here comes New Year's resolution, right? So this is when the gym is more packed from January to March. People are really gung-ho, and they get going, and they're there, they're working out. Let's say they are eating good, but there's a hormonal imbalance. And by the middle of February, they're like, man, I really thought I was going to be way more ahead of the game than right now. Why is this not happening, right? We're human. You get frustrated. It's disheartening. And then you quit until you get motivated again, maybe right before summer starts, because you're going to have to take your shirt off poolside or beachside someplace, right? And then it just turns into this huge yo-yo. So like when people come to me, doesn't matter the age, I'm trying to fix everything from the get-go. It's not necessarily an overnight fix. There's no overnight fixes whatsoever. It's going to take, if somebody's been a certain way or overweight for a long time, or maybe their cholesterol is really high or their lipid panel's bad. If it took them 10 years of doing that, it's not going to happen overnight, but you got to start at some point, right? And one of the main things that male and females don't understand as we're getting older is that testosterone replacement therapy is huge in America right now, because everything that we come in contact with, and I always tell everybody the largest organ in our body is our skin, but everything we come in contact with, the things we eat, even the shower water, they decrease your testosterone levels, increase the estrogen, and it creates this huge hormonal imbalance, where that is why a lot of America is on anxiety meds, antidepressants. They go to the conventional doctor saying all these symptoms of how they feel, but the conventional doctor is just not educated enough to say, hey, you know what? Why don't we just check your testosterone levels and see what that's at? But if they have a range like this, here's the top and here's the bottom, as long as you're someplace here within range, they're going to say, nope, you're perfectly fine. It must be something else. And that person doesn't know any better. So they leave the office scratching their head going, man, I guess it's just really difficult for me. I'm just out of luck, right? And then they never get help. They never get that balance where if I look at it, or physicians that I have look at it, we're like, no, of course, this is exactly why you feel this way. This is why you're in this antidepressant, or why you're on this anxiety med. Once we fix that, man, completely different story. I can't tell you how many people I get off of antidepressants or anxiety meds, because I deal with older people that, they didn't have their testosterone levels checked until I said, hey, let's look at this, because that's the root cause. And obviously, if they've been on Prozac, or they've been on albuterol like for 5 years, you can't just completely go cold turkey. It's going to take some time to wean them off of it, but we get them off of it, and then they realize, oh, that's what I needed. That's the hormone that I needed.
Mm-hmm. You were just hormonally imbalanced. You weren't necessarily depressed.
Yeah.
And then just like looking at it from a different perspective.
And it's an anecdotal story I'll share with you, but we go to a physician here to do the testosterone, and he had mentioned that generically, not mentioning a name, that there was a patient that had been on antidepressants
like 20, 30 years.
And once they got their hormones in alignment, they got off all of that, and it's negative.
And they were happy.
Side effects.
Living her best life.
She wasn't going to go do some bodybuilding competition. She just wanted to have a better mood.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, that's why testosterone.
Go ahead.
That's why testosterone therapy is so important, right? People need to understand, because so many people don't understand. They think, well, I'm not trying to do, like you just said, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder. I'm not going to the gym. Like, I'm not trying to get big. It's not about that. You have to think about it exactly what it says. It's hormone replacement therapy. You're replacing a hormone that your body is no longer producing the way it did. And we need it so that we're leveled off, right? 99.9% of the people that do hormone replacement therapy, they don't even go to the gym. They do it so that they can sleep better, have no brain fog, less anxiety, have a good livelihood, feel good, libido, like weight loss, like non-joint pain. People that are having their anemia, they need a higher red blood cell count for osteoporosis, just for your thinking to be better and being mentally alert. Like, it's a huge hormone for male and females. And once you understand how important that is, you'll get your labs checks. Because I run into so many 45 and 50-year-olds. When's the last time you had your labs checked? Ooh, it's been like 5 years, 6 years. I'm like, how do you even know what's going on, man? Like, you don't want any surprises. And so when you do start something like hormone replacement therapy, whether it be testosterone or estrogen or just thyroid medication, doesn't matter what it is, now you're in the know. Now nothing can creep up on you. You're getting labs 3 times. Yeah. Cancer can't creep up on you because you know your estrogen levels. So you start to really take advantage and take control of your own health, instead of just being at the mercy of the physician and like, you're fine. Well, then.
And like with those labs, Eric, like, you have to advocate, right? Because a lot of times the doctors
test for things.
They'll order just like a general panel, and then they're missing some crucial things that you need to be looking at. 100%. So being a client and being coached by you is like, okay, like, I'm just being very direct about what's needed in these panels.
We had to advocate for what to test for. You have to be persistent about it, because they were dug in.
For some reason, I don't know why.
Well, if we don't know, we don't know, and we Coach Eric's help, we're like, nope, this is what we need, and so we were very specific about it, and that's what we got back.
Yes. So Eric, you're located in California. And obviously, like, you coach people all over probably the world. Yeah. So, you know, if someone were to want to work with you or hire you on, what does that look like as far as, you know, you being in California and them, you know, maybe being here in Hawaii?
We'll give Coach Eric the testimonial. We've actually never met in person.
I know. We keep trying, but
it's the phone, it's the Zoom. And I will tell you, for me personally, like, I'm not working out more. I will tell you, I'm working out differently. If anything, Coach called me for working out too much. But yeah, I'm just working out differently, and then including all those things. And I will say, like, we were the type of people, like, and that needed to go from couch potato to this. But it's like you said earlier, we were doing all of that, but not getting, it was just static. And then once we started working with Coach Eric, we started seeing the results, because we didn't know what we did.
Feeling the results too.
Feeling the results. And I will say, that thing that you talked about, getting people's hormones in balance, that would be everybody.
Yes.
That would want to feel better, regardless of look better. You do want to feel better, don't you? So talk about how they can book an appointment with Dr. Feelgood. That's you.
Well, they can definitely.
What does it look like?
They can definitely go to my website that you're putting up on the screen. They can email me from there with, you know, just a regular email. Hey, listen, I heard you on the podcast. I'm kind of not feeling myself. I'm kind of getting the same resistance or the same information I'm getting from my general primary OBGYN doctor, and they're just, I don't feel like, they keep telling me I'm fine, but I know I'm not fine. Maybe there's other things to look at. I'll take it from there. I'll contact that individual. And it's just, first and foremost, me making a quick 5 to 10 minute conversation with them, because I want to ask them a few questions before they join anything or do anything with me. See if I can help them, right? So I ask them some questions. It's a female, you know, like, just kind of tell me a little bit what's going on. How many children do we have? You know, how old are you? You know, have you had a hysterectomy? For males, like, hey, what type of work do we do? Like, how long have you felt this way? At that point, I'll say, hey, that's when I ask, hey, when's the last time you got some labs, right? And I might set them and might tell them, hey, give them direction in regards to, first and foremost, our consultation together, because I usually have a 1 hour Zoom consultation with an individual. Our consultation is going to be more beneficial to you if maybe we have recent labs in front of us. So I might tell them exactly what labs to get drawn. If they have a good relationship with their OBGYN or their primary, this is exactly what I want drawn. This is the way you ask for it. Let them say no first. If they say no, then I have, you know, non-insurance clients where I could take them to a website. We can get labs done there at your nearby Quest or whatnot. But let's get that done first. Once you get those back, then I got a full photo of exactly what's going on inside and out, plus the conversation you're going to have with them.
I think too, what people need to understand, why do we have this resistance in Western healthcare? Because it actually, and I've heard this before, it should be renamed sick care, because they're used to treating you with the broken leg and the acute symptoms of some kind of disease. What we're coming to Coach Eric for is that we are healthy. We just want to have a remain healthy. We want to look better, feel better. And so Western doctors are not used to people coming in saying, I feel terrific. I just want to feel awesome. Yeah. There's like, I have all these issues, and they have the pharmaceuticals and all of that, but it's a very narrow approach to feeling, you know, like feeling optimal. And I think that's the key and solution that we got from Coach Eric. What other anything else questions you have?
Well, we have a mutual friend, and I know that you're like, we've been working on her for a while.
Yeah.
So, and earlier in the show, you didn't hear the first part, but we were talking about mindset, right? And like making sure that you hire someone that has the right mindset to be on your team. Now, how does mindset tie in to, you know, working the program, working with you, and getting the kind of results that you typically get?
Well, in regards to mindset, usually when people come to me and, you know, they pay what they're going to pay with me, they're committed and they're ready to go, right? And the thing is that the best analogy I can give you is this. If you have an alcoholic, you're never going to get him sober or her sober. Yeah. She or he has to be ready to be sober. Otherwise, it'll never happen. Yeah. With fat loss and health, it's the exact same thing. You can wish it upon someone as much as you want. It's not until they're absolutely ready. So when I do have a client and we know who we're talking about, I can only push so much, right? Because if I push to the point where I have them start something when they're not ready, it's not going to be a good outcome. But if they get started with me, at least, I promise you, 99.9% of the time, they're going to go, this is a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. That's because I'm going to make it easy, right? It's the experience that I've had. You got to understand that I'm somebody who was very overweight growing up. So I understand all the tendencies of somebody who has an emotional eater, right? That, you know, I was that guy that when I look at a cupcake, I'm going to gain weight. I have to really watch my diet. So I understand the relationship between not just food, but not feeling the way you know, when you see other people, like, man, I want to look that way. I wish I would look that way. I get all that, right? I know what it's like and what it should feel like to feel comfortable in your own skin. So usually when you get into somebody's mindset, there's a bunch of other stuff going on that we got to kind of, you know, bear down on. It's usually not just because, hey, I just like to eat. There's a lot. I've always said, like, what I do, I'm like a cheap therapist, right? I'm like a real cheap therapist. I got to get in the person's mind because every individual is different and they all have different hot buttons, man. And you have to know how to push every one of them. And that's why I only carry a certain amount of clients, because I can only do so many different personalities in any one given day before I just want to yank my hair out, right? But I get to them. I know how to motivate them. I coach football too. So from kids, from kindergarten to seniors now, you have to know how to deal with the people. It's not just about, oh, here's this black and white diet and this is planned, this is what I need to do. No, you have
one size fits all.
Get in their head and maneuver so that they get motivated enough and let them see enough results and see it, you know, feel good enough that, oh man, you know what, this is working. I want to continue, right? If they don't have that motivation, they don't see that progress, it's not going to happen. So that's one of the main things. And everybody's different. You have people that need to lose 200 pounds and you have people that need to lose 5 pounds because they're getting ready for some cobble cruise, right? So like you have to know how to do that and be up and down.
Yeah. I think too, the key to what you're doing too, and it says a lot, is that your clients are your number one source of your business, and you do not have an unlimited bandwidth. So it's not like you just take everybody all the time. So that says a lot. And then number two, and we know it, Adrienne, what is TTP?
Trust the plan.
Trust the plan. And I want to speak to that because people, what I find, because I've had friends go to you and they let their egos get in the way. And they're like, hey, if you've been the way you've been your entire life and he's giving you information that this is what you got to do
it.
Just do it. Like TTP, trust the plan. And I think when you gave us like the document, like all the stuff to eat and the supplements and how to take it, is like, I don't know, it was like 10 pages and I read it like 5 times because I was like, and I highlighted stuff and I put notes. That's the mindset you're looking for. Hello, folks, you're paying for this instruction, take it. And so I think you put in there too, you're going to have friends or TikTok or Instagram saying, oh, instead of that, do this, instead of that, questioning everything that Coach Eric is putting before you. I will tell you, our number one key to success for Adrienne and I is results. We didn't question stuff.
Trust the plan.
TTP, trust the plan. So thank you for explaining that right up the front, because you were addressing the mindset without just mindlessly giving a formula for us to follow. You addressed it right in the beginning of that paperwork you gave us.
So Eric, we've got a couple minutes left.
Yeah.
So if there's anything more you want to touch on with our listeners or a success story,
I want to share,
just wrap it up.
It's not like a lifelong thing with Coach Eric. He teaches you the habits. We come back every once in a while. We'll do a 30, 60, 90 with you. It's a high level of accountability. We talk about it in our sales group. Raise your hand if you love accountability. Nobody raises their hand. Raise your hand if you love the results of accountability. Everybody raises their hand. Yeah. And I think I will tell you right now, like even for us as disciplined as we are, we need to go back for a 30, 60, 90 with Coach Eric, because I'm going to tell you.
A reset. When you have a reset.
When you look at that cupcake, and you go, oh, I'm going to have to report this to Coach Eric. I don't want to do it. You literally just walk away. because we don't want to have to report it on our check-ins with Coach Eric. So that level of accountability is what people need. You may not want it, but you do need it. But any last things that you wanted to share with our viewers, or any questions or things you wanted to share we didn't ask you about?
Well, one of the things I want to say is with you two, right? You guys are like poster billboard childs for me, right? You do everything. And again, I give you the plan and you read it 5 times. That doesn't mean you're going to necessarily follow it. That's up to you, right? So it's up to you. It's up to the individual to want it bad enough to follow the plan and let it play itself out, right? Even if you have and you've been doing something for the longest time, if you're paying someone to tell you what to do, give them a shot, right? You got to give them a shot first and foremost. And I say that all the time. Like when somebody joins my option 2 and I take full control, I say, this is the best option because I'm going to take full control of what you're doing. All you need to do is do it. And at the end of the month, if it doesn't work out, you can tell me you were lying, right? But at least you did what I asked you to do. But when you don't and you start to, and there's resistance, and I don't get a lot of that, but sometimes, people are, why do this? Why do this? Well, that means you're doing your plan. And that's what got you here in the first place. Yeah. You got to have an open mind, right? I'm going to go away from whatever your physician told you. And I'm going to go with my experience that I've been doing for 30 years and working with optimization physicians. And we've got a different way of doing things. And that's why we have such a high success rate. Yeah. And I like the fact that you are, it's like that guy with the hi, not only am I a member of the Men's Hair Club, but I'm the president. Like you are, how old are you, Coach Eric? I'm going to be 52 in March. 52, and I will tell you, you look better than most 20-year-olds. So if you are not a walking resume of the product of your plan, I don't know what is. Eric trusts his own plan. Trusts his own plan, and all of that good stuff. Because I will tell you, you don't go to the homeless guy in the park to get financial advice. You don't go to somebody at 31 Flavors eating all the ice cream to get diet advice, and you don't go to your fluffy cousin sitting on the couch binge watching Netflix to get fitness advice. You go to Coach Eric. You go to Coach Eric. So, all right. Well, Eric, thank you so much for coming back on the show. This is a great way to start the year. Our listeners, you got to go and book a time with Coach Eric. We'll have all the information on how to contact him in the comments, and or just reach out to us. We'll make a connection with. I think Eric. It's the best time of the year. Don't put it off. I think you should consult with Coach Eric now. Not be waiting till you just went ham crazy on alcohol and all craziness over the holidays. Just do it now. By the way, it's a new year. Here we are. Have cheat meals, not cheat day, cheat meals for 1 hour. And it does work in the holidays to stay fit. Coach Eric. Yeah. Well, thank you, Eric. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Again, I appreciate you bringing me back. All right. Aloha. Aloha. All right. Bye. All right. Well, thanks for listening, and thank you to our sponsors. Bradley with Allstate Insurance. Kenji with Pillar to Post Home Inspection. John with Kilowatt Pest Control. Duke of Hawaii Pacific Property Management. Robinson Fine Line Paintwork. Amphi of Estate Planning Group. Jason Wu, Attorney at Law. Rhino of Hawaii Unified. Janice with Dreamhouse Drafting. Fabio of Hawaii Water Damage Restoration. Wow with Impact Wealth. Brian of Cleanscape. Benji with Hawaii Referral Agent. Danny of DHA Financial. Joseph with Keymaster Locksmith of Hawaii. Christopher, Falcon Services. If you want to get a hold of any of our sponsors, just go to teamlally.com. We also want to give a big thank you to Sheen, our producer. Make sure to tune in next week. We'll have an awesome guest talking about something that'll change your life. Forever. This is the Team Lally Real Estate Show, home of the Guaranteed Sold Program. If we can't sell your home at the agreed upon price and or time frame, we'll have it bought for cash. Thanks and aloha. Just that. There we go.